Alright, what's up guys, this is FrayedHeroTCG, and I'm here to present my deck profile for the Immortal Asura Kaiser deck that I have here. I figured I should do this now before Legion starts being released and a lot of limit break decks become very slow and just not able to compete with Legion. Yeah, and then figured I might as well do this now too, just because I pretty much finally built the deck at a comfortable build. So yeah, let's get on to it. So for grade zeros here, starting Vanguard, I have the Beast Deity Night Jackal right here. Other options would be to use the grade 3 Searcher, which for this deck you do want to leave those grade 3s in the deck instead. Or also using the Blau lineup, or Right Chain, which is a good option. I feel like, it is fairly good as well, but it also still has the chance to be grade locked. Not as bad. It certainly does help, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like grade locked in this deck, in pretty much any of the builds, unless you're running a normal 8 to 9 grade 3s, it's going to be inevitable either way. With the Blau lineup, it's a little bit less likely, but still, it's still there. So I mean, I'd rather run him just because if I do get the cross ride and everything, he becomes an AK booster when I stand him. A little more situational, but still okay. So for triggers, I'm running 4 crits here, but also running 12 stands. Also, excuse the jingle jingle, that's my cat. But yeah, for the stands, it's kind of like a backup plan basically. You're going all in with this deck. You don't run heal. I'm not running heals, and the crits are there just for a little bit more pressure, just in case in the early game. But yeah, the stands, you're all in. You either have a field and you're, beating your opponent, or you don't have a field because your opponent's beating you down, and those stands are worthless. So either end, you're kind of screwed. But I mean, again, the stands are there just so that you're going all in. Even if you don't drive check grade 3 on Immortal Asura Kaiser, you get the stand stuff, and if you have the certain rear guards, you're still hitting for very high numbers. So onto the grade 1s here, I got 4 perfect guards. Got also 4 bear down samurai. Very awesome card, almost essential in this deck, pretty much. Also have 3 dancing wolves. Another option for this deck is to replace the dancing wolves here with the Death Army guy, I believe, is the grade 1. Just so then if you drive check grade 3, more things are standing, you're doing more attacks that have a bit more power. I feel that the Dancing Wolf is a little bit better just because it gets the power and everything when it does stand. You're kind of more dependent on the break ride and using that to stand everything on the field and standing him, but I mean, most of the times you want the bear down samurai on the field to begin with, and he's just a backup plan for extra power. And then also running 2 Clay Doll Mechanic. Brutal Jack's in this deck, and you want to make sure you unflip him, or unflip the damage from Brutal Jack, just so then you can still have open counterblast for when you break ride, if you break ride. Onto the grade 2s, have 4 Daredevil Samurai, along with the Bear Down Samurai. Both of those cards here, essential for this deck. It helps it make the pressure that you need. You get the perfect combo off. You can do, at highest, I believe 90, if not a little bit of over 100,000 attack, which is amazing, because if you don't have a perfect guard, your opponent just died on the inside. Also have 3 Brutal Jacks, the best unit, or grade 2 to ride, especially if you have Clay Doll Mechanic or another damage on flipper. In my opinion, the greatest grade 2 to ride, because it makes your opponent really sad if you went first and they ride the grade 2. They're just not hitting for numbers whatsoever. And you have more or less the option to guard if you have a 10k shield and they're still not hitting for numbers, which a lot of the times they won't. They'll have to try pretty hard to hit a number against you. And then also have 2 of the Hungry Dumpties here. Damage on flipper. Same pretty much excuse for Clay Doll Mechanic. You're just unflipping damage for Brutal Jack or Break Rider or whatever have you. And then onto grade 3s, running 4 Immortal Asura Kaiser, 3 regular Asura Kaiser, and then, sorry, these are proxied, unfortunately. I don't have the really money right now to spend on Mons, but there's 4 Mons in the deck. So it's a total of 11 grade 3s. So yeah, pretty much for this deck, you can go with any of the builds, they're still fine. I prefer this one, just because it's I feel a good amount of grade 3s. You'll see them, hopefully you're drive checking them. But yeah, this deck can be really deadly if you play it correctly. Like I said in the beginning, it's an all-in deck. You're rushing down, more or less. With Brutal Jack on your grade 2 when you ride, hopefully that makes your opponent really in an awkward spot for not hitting numbers. You know, hitting 14 to your 11, 10k shield is a no pass. You know, that's what you're trying to do with this deck. And really, you're trying to either break ride into Immortal Asura Kaiser and just swing for game, or you're going straight into Immortal Asura Kaiser, getting to 4 damage, and just hopefully hitting for very high numbers with Daredevil, Samurai, and Bear Down Samurai as well. But yeah, so that's the deck. You know, I know it's Immortal Asura Kaiser. I know there's not too much variety to it, but I mean, with 12 stands, I think that's a pretty good variety from most of the other builds. And yeah, so leave in the comments if you guys have any opinions, questions, or concerns, or anything else like that. Be sure to reply back as soon as I can. Alright, thanks for watching.